Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Reiki with Anna. For today's video, we're going to be chatting through some clearing and cleansing techniques, ideas, rituals for your home. This video was requested by one of you lovelies, and as always, thank you so much for your comments. They're just amazing. I just love the comment section. It is honestly one of my absolute favorite things about doing this is reading the comments. So thank you. I cherish all of them. I have them saved. It's really dorky, but I do. So I wanted to create this video to just share some food for thought. As with everything here, if it doesn't serve you or if it feels disempowering in any way, please leave it at the door and try to find something that works for you. And if you do find something that works for you, we'd love to hear about it if you want to share it with us. So the first thought or idea for clearing is about sage. More specifically, using smoke to clear or cleanse an area. So with that in mind, I have this little kind of sacred receptacle where I like to keep some sage. This was part of a bundle that was like the size of a wiffle ball bat. And it's broken apart now, but it's, lasted me a really long time. I've had it for years and years. And I think it's a great way to just allow anything that's not serving you to just be transmuted by the smoke, to be taken in to this very mesmerizing, hypnotizing smoke, so that it can be, that energy doesn't have to be sucked into whatever it is that is consuming you, can just release it and allow it to transform into something useful, into useful energy. So for this, one of your questions was about what do I say when I'm clearing or cleansing, and an easy kind of go-to for clearing or cleansing is, on behalf of my highest or wisest, most empowered or enlightened, or whatever you're hoping to invite more of into your life, I like to empower you here. So that's probably learned from my master teacher, from Jillian from Lunanate. But whatever you're kind of feeling called to invite there, and then you just can say, I wish to clear that which no longer serves me. I wish to clear anything that's not in service of my wisest, most empowered, or whatever self. I wish to cleanse this home from any impurities. I wish to clear this corner from any, misaligned or disempowering energy. You can kind of set whatever intention you'd like. And I just like to basically carry around this receptacle with me. And then same with Palo Santo, again a very large, older piece. And you can just wave it in the air. And you can say, I wish to clear this space of any energies that are not serving me right now. Any energies that feel, whatever it is that you're trying to clear. So that's one thing I wanted to mention, address, and talk about is, it's difficult to create this kind of video or answer that kind of question without kind of knowing what it is that you're trying to clear. So I would say, first things first, if you're trying to generally just do a cleanse, that's a good way of doing it. I like to make sure that I'm getting the corners of my rooms behind certain furniture, obviously as safely as possible. And you don't have to sort of continue saying that intention or continue to set the intention every place you move to, but if you want to set an intention just to clear your house, I wish to use this smoke, use whatever it is that you're using. You could use incense to clear and cleanse this house of any energies that are not in service of my highest self. Now, if you're clearing something a bit more specifically, like, for example, if someone came over, and I know that's difficult for a lot of us now, and that's probably not very relevant for us now, but if that's the case, or if there's someone that you're living with that is providing a lot of, discomfort or making you feel a bit less than or anything like that, if you just feel kind of a funky energy from someone, from an individual, for those kinds of things, I like to use self-cleansing stones. You could also sage for sure, but especially if you're living with someone and it might be safer or whatever to use a stone for that so that, they don't smell it on you and wonder what there was something about them that you needed to get rid of. I'm just being silly. For that, for example, you could use a selenite wand. I love to use this if I'm feeling like, oh, that was an icky interaction. A lot of us are having a lot of video or phone calls, and if there's any of those that are feeling, like that's where this energy is coming from that you might want to clear, you can just kind of comb through. Comb through your etheric field, go through, see if there's any spaces that want to be, cleared or cleansed. This video is specifically about, using tools and things to cleanse, okay? So it would be a different situation if you maybe were just starting out and didn't have any tools. We can talk about options then as well, if that's the case. What I would probably do is use salt if you have it available to you. just regular table salt, whatever you have. Use whatever you have, just in general. I would use, go to your kitchen. I would turn to my kitchen. I would probably use salt and put it in. It's a great cleanser, great for kind of taking in that negative energy, just purifying the space. It's great. If you wanted to put a little pinch of salt or put a little, tiny dish or something in the corners of the room, just a pinch of salt in each one. And that can help balance and stabilize the energies in the room. And then I might probably use water, charge some water in the full moon, and then use that either in a spray bottle if you have one, or if not, then just use it like in a little bottle. This is full moon water. And then just, take it like this, and then you could flick it and just use that to clear. That's an easy way. Clearing and cleansing. Again, you can set the intention. I wish to use this water on behalf of my wisest self for clearing that which no longer serves me, clearing any energies that aren't working towards my highest potential, something like that. And yeah, just a little bit here, and then you can flick it. You can comb through the air, things like this. Just some ideas. You can also use if you find a stone on a walk, one of your walks, if you're able to take walks, and you can intend it to be your clearing stone. So, just some ideas. I think that's all. I would turn to your kitchen and see if you have any herbs that have some clearing properties, or spices. Rosemary. That's a fairly common one that can be useful. A lot of these herbs have some really great clearing properties, so we can talk about that further. If you wanted to leave me a comment and let me know if you don't have any of these clearing tools, and anybody that has any more ideas for people who don't have those kinds of things. I love talking about that because I think it's really important to make this kind of practice and this kind of work more accessible to people, because I don't think you should have to go out and spend a fortune on stones. I didn't for most of my life. I've been doing this work for a long time and slowly developed a collection. So. Okay, but back to some tools. Speaking of waters and things like that, you can make a little tonic, a little spray. I love using old spray bottles. This one happens to be from a spray, a sacred spray. But you could I also use old bottles of, cosmetic bottles, of rose water and things like that. And you can just clear them out and then use purified water or whatever water you have. Charge it if you feel called to. And then you can just put a few drops of some essential oils. You can put some witch hazel in there. You can kind of do whatever you'd like to create a spray that you can then use to cleanse. Kind of goes everywhere, and it's a really beautiful way of just, you can kind of thicken the air so you can kind of see what's going on. Or you can just kind of allow it to shake up the energy and clear it, especially depending on what type of oils you're using in that spray. great stone to have. If you only purchase one stone, I'd probably recommend clear quartz because it's programmable. We've talked about this before, but you could program it and then intend for it to be selenite. I like stones that kind of, have like a point in every direction for clearing, because these little clusters are like little combs, and they're great for just combing through. It's like getting the knots out of your hair, the tangles out of your hair, but energetically speaking. You could use a little rattle. I love using rattles for clearing, particularly if there's something that feels really stuck. If I'm ever holding tension in my throat from anxiety, or, anything that sort of feels blocked and stuck like that. And it's nice to just kind of clear that. You could use this to clear energy in your space, in your room, or if you know that there's a particular area that feels a little off. So as we were speaking about before, knowing kind of what type of energy you're looking to clear, or what you're specifically looking for in terms of a clearing. If you are looking for clearing, we've spoken about sort of general clearing for the house. We've spoken about clearing for someone else's energy, like another individual's energy. So now, let's say we're clearing because you're sensing a very specific energy in your house, right? A lot of you, I'm sure, have had that experience where you just feel kind of weird about an area of your house. It can happen. So for that situation, you can, clear that space. You can invite light into that space. If I ever have a space like that in my home, thankfully I don't have one where I currently live. But I have in the past, and I like to take some kind of light, like Himalayan sea salt lamp that I have, and I would just turn it on, in that area once a day or something like that, or leave it on at the times when I've felt some weird energy. Hope this doesn't sound disempowering or weird, but I'm sure a few of you can relate to what I'm talking about. Just an energy that feels a little off about an area of the house, maybe, or apartment. So you can put some light there, and then the salt lamps are great because they have that clearing energy anyway from the salts. But you could take something like a rattle, and you could just say, it's like in a corner. And again, you can intend for the rattle to clear any energy. So you can clear the energy like that, shake it up, break it up, and then you can take that same, some spray, and then just make sure that you're kind of really getting rid of it. That's a nice little way to do it. Seal it off. If you don't have a rattle, I used these in my previous video, but I like excuse me. I dried these seeds from loquats, and you could use these as a rattle. I love the sound. So anything like that, if you have, even a jar of beans or something like that, like dried beans or something. I keep my my beans in like old jars. Something I never expected to say on this channel. But you could just, you could take that and use that as a rattle, intend for it to be your like sacred rattle for that moment, and then just shake it up in that area. And again, you could spray it. You could do it with the same water method as before, or take a stone that you're intending to be your clearing stone. You could just run that stone through that area. While doing this kinds of clearing, I love to have grounding stones. This is a septarian. It's a great stone for grounding and for boundaries. It means wall, septarian. So this is a great stone for this because it can help you set those boundaries clear and set, build your fortress in a really beautiful way. So I like to have a grounding stone just to make sure that I'm, connected and feeling grounded while I'm doing this kind of clearing work. Sometimes it can make you a little bit off balance. Speaking of stones, if the energy that you're trying to clear is from, a long day, or you just came into the house from a situation that you want to clear, so it's just sort of you're bringing that energy in and you want to clear it. I love using little stones that hold on to the energy, that kind of suck that negative energy up, and tourmaline is a great stone for that. Tourmaline will just, you can just put so much energy into tourmaline. And just if you do that, make sure that you clear it, because it will hold on to that energy. And if you return to that stone, it can, that energy can come back to you if you don't clear it. But this is a great one to have, at the threshold of your home, or again, to place in one of those corners, and then just remove it and cleanse it. And to cleanse it, it's porous, so don't put it in water, spray it or anything. But you could, place it in like a little cloth, make a little pouch for it, and then you could bury it. You could place it in a bowl of salt to cleanse it. You could cleanse it in smoke. That's usually how I cleanse my stones. So I'll just use some incense or sage or anything like that and use the smoke to cleanse it. Just some ideas there. Another option is using singing bowls, using sounds, these frequencies to cleanse an area. Sometimes I'll use these for cleansing stones too. Got a little leaf in there. So what you do is, I'll show you how to do the singing bowl, but the microphone really doesn't like it, so it might not sound great. If that sounded okay, it's probably because I messed with it a lot. So the sound, the frequency, the vibrations, it's another great way of clearing. And You can use tuning forks, you can use singing bowls. This isn't the proper way of playing it, but so to clear with this, I like to tap it and then start, let's say here, and then move down through that space with the sound until I can no longer hear it. And then tap it again, or if you wanted to do, then go through. In person, it's fine. It's just with the mic, it's not nice. And just allow it to clear anything that's not serving, and you can set that intention again. Okay, well, I hope you found this somewhat interesting. Again, it was based on one of your lovely comments, so thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all of your inspiration. I am sending you also so much love and support. This is basically just like a little bonus video. And yeah, I'll probably be making a few just sort of maybe more kind of chatty videos every once in a while. But be back to our Reiki sessions and all of that. So thank you so much for being here. Happy cleaning, happy clearing, happy cleansing. And I'll see you again very soon.